When looking at the SAMR model, or indeed any new model we're interested in learning about or product that we're interested in buying, we generally ask ourselves three questions. What, how, and why? What is it? How does it work? And why do I want it? I'm going to start off by explaining the why. Why the SAMR model is important to you, important to your classroom, and important to your school. The world today is changing at a dramatic pace. We now have technology available at our fingertips that previously was unimaginable. And our classrooms are the exact same. We have amazing technology that we should be taking advantage of for the sake of our students, to help improve their capacity to learn and their learning experience. When considering technology in the classroom, sometimes we think about using technology just for the sake of using it. We look at activities, we look at our curriculum and think of how many times we can use a certain piece of technology in it. But this is incorrect. Before we use technology in an activity or in our schools, we need to ask ourselves why. Why am I using this technology? How will it benefit my learners? And how will it help them achieve the goals that I have set them? This is where the SAMR model comes in perfectly. This is where it answers the why, because it tells us how effectively we are using technology in our classrooms. We have to remember that technology is just a tool in our classrooms. And like any tool, we have to evaluate it against the job we want it to do. I'm going to take the example of me here making a delicious sandwich that I've made earlier. I want to cut it in two because it's too big. I have two options. I have two pieces of technology that I can use. I have a chainsaw and a knife. Chainsaw is a very cool piece of technology that I really want to use it. But I won't. Why? Because it's not suitable to the task. If I want to cut my bread roll, I'm going to use the simple bread knife. It is what it is designed to do, and it is the right piece of technology for my task. In our classrooms, it's no different. We have to look at the task, look at the tools we have available, decide what is suitable. We don't use the most modern tool just for the sake of using it. If it is not appropriate for our learners, not as appropriate for our task, we should not use it. The tool should always match the task. Now that we've answered the why about the SAMR model, we're going to look at the how exactly it works. SAMR model is divided into 4 levels and 2 sections. First, we'll look at the different levels. We're going to start at the bottom and work our way up to the top. SAMR model starts here at substitution. This is when technology acts as a direct tool substitute with no functional change. So basically we're just changing the old technology for new technology. This works its way up to augmentation. This is when it tells us technology acts as a direct tool substitute but with functional improvement. So now within the task, the technology has allowed us for some proper functional improvement that we can see and that the students can witness. The first 2 levels fall into the enhancement section, and the next 2 levels fall into the transformation section, which I'll explain in more detail a little later into this tutorial. From augmentation, we work our way up to modification. Now we're into the transformation section of SAMR. Now it tells us technology allows for significant task redesign. Although the task may remain the same, the learning outcome may remain the same, technology is allowed for us, so it's enough of a development that we're into the modification stage. And our final stage is redefinition. This is when technology allows for the creation of new tasks previously inconceivable. We are really now breaking down the classroom walls. We are into tasks and activities that would be previously unimaginable without the help of technology. So these are our 4 steps of SAMR, and now I will go into each one in a little bit more detail. The first level in the first section of the SAMR model is substitution. This falls into the enhancement section. So although technology allows for a small enhancement in the task, it is just acting as a direct substitute. Basically, it's going from old technology to new technology, whether that's a paper book to now an iBook, a pencil now to a Pages document. There are many examples, but it's just a direct substitute with no functional change seen in the task. Substitution is the first and most basic step of the SAMR model. There's many examples that you will use and see in the classroom. From the most basic as, instead of asking a student to write it out on a piece of paper, to putting it on a Pages document. The task is not changed, only slightly enhanced. There are many examples of apps that we can use in a substitution phase. It could be Pages, Notes, Dictionary, Poplet, iBooks, even Calculator, just to name but a few. At this stage, I'd like to point out that it's very hard to define a certain app into a certain level of the SAMR, because a lot of apps have a lot of different functions that really enhance them. So it depends how much you use the functions of the app that could really elevate it from substitution to augmentation, or augmentation to modification, and so on. The second level in SAMR and the final level in the enhancement section is augmentation. In this level, technology is still acting as a direct substitution, but now we are getting to see some functional improvement within the task. Here on the second level of the SAMR model, augmentation, we're now starting to see some sort of improvement in the task. The task remains the same. Technology is still only acting as a direct substitution, but there is some significant improvement in the task. So now, instead of writing in their notebooks, the students can make a nice visual pic collage, which should help them dominate the outcome quicker and better. Again, there are many apps that fall into this level of the SAMR model. Again, it's important to remember that apps will overlap from one level to another level depending on the function we're using, but some of the more commonly ones used in augmentation would include Pic Collage, Keynote, Safari, maybe Pages again. This time we're adding some nice images, or using one of the templates, Padlet, Kitspiration, Pictochart, or Paper 53. The first 2 levels, substitution and augmentation, fit into the enhancement section, and after that now we move on to the transformation section, where we start to see some real redesign in the original task. We now have moved up to the third level of the SAMR model, which is the first part in the transformation section. Technology now has taken a significant step. Now it has started to redesign the task. Again, the learning outcome will remain the same, but the original task that we had first set has been developed so much now that it is in the redesign phase. On the third level of the SAMR model, modification, we're now into the transformation section. So we should start to see significant improvement and redesign in the original task. The original task could be something as simple as summarizing a text, but in the modification level, we can really redesign this. The learners can work together, they can sync their iPads so they both have the same screen and work on their collaboration skills to create a video presentation on the same task. Here's a little example I will show you.
Atmosphere made by Mako Habi. Atmosphere atmosphere. The atmosphere is a layer of gases that surround the Earth. It is held near Earth by gravity. It protects us from UV radiation and also protects the air we breathe. It has 5 different layers.
The apps in this stage will not only help deepen learners' understanding of the topics, but should also empower them and help to make them independent learners. Some common apps we would use in the modification level would include Explain Everything, Adobe Spark Video, iMovie, Chatterpix, Telegami, and Book Creator. The final level of the SAMR model is called redefinition. Now technology is allowing us to do tasks that would be previously inconceivable or impossible without the use of technology. It is really tearing down the classroom walls from us and opening up a whole new world of learning. When we reach the final level of the SAMR model redefinition, we have now eliminated the classroom walls and opened up endless possibilities. Maybe we are conducting Skype calls with people from around the globe. Maybe we're becoming coders and participating in the hour of code. Maybe we are creating stop motion movies that will be then shared with people all over the globe. That is one of the most important aspects of redefinition. What we do with the product we make, how we share it and where it goes. The possibilities should be endless. We should be looking to upload it and sharing it with worldwide communities. Some common apps used to help achieve the redefinition level would include Stop Motion, Skype, Swift Playgrounds, Seesaw, and iTunes U. But the real essence of redefinition is sharing our work, getting it out to that global audience that without technology would be impossible. Now we have seen how and why we should be using the SAMR model. Let's have a quick recap to review exactly what it is. Well, very simply, the SAMR model is a model for technology integration in the classroom. It consists of 4 levels and 2 sections. The 4 levels go from substitution, augmentation, modification, up to the top where we have redefinition. We have 2 sections as well. Substitution and augmentation fall into the enhancement section. In the enhancement section, technology acts as a direct substitute and the task is not changed. Although it is enhanced and improved, it is not changed. In the last section, transformation, our task now is completely redesigned. Technology has allowed us to break down the classroom walls or redesign the task in some way that it is now almost unrecognizable to the original task. What is really important to remember when we're using technology in the classroom and implementing the SAMR model is task versus tool. We must always look at the original task and decide if we need technology for this. If technology is then needed, this is when we should revert to our SAMR model and see which level of technology we can use to optimize the task at hand. The most important part of the SAMR model indicates that technology should help improve learner outcome. If technology does not do this, we should not use it. The whole point of using technology in the classroom, according to SAMR model, is to ensure that it helps improve student outcomes and deepen understanding. Finally, it's important to remember that when using technology in the classroom and using the SAMR model, it's like a journey. You will go from substitution up through augmentation to modification and eventually all the way up to redefinition. Some people see it as a ladder as you just go up. People see it as a swimming pool as you go from substitution to augmentation, back to substitution, up to modification and back down and back up. Whatever way you use it will be the best way for you and your students. The most important thing is that you enjoy the experience, learn from it, and embrace it. Thank you very much.